At my daughter's birthday party, she stood before the candles and made a wish in German. I wish that Auntie Lynette could be my mommy this year. My husband Desmond chuckled and ruffled her hair. You'll get your wish very soon, sweetheart. I stood frozen in place. The cake in my hand slipped, crashing onto the floor in a messy heap of frosting and sponge. Desmond looked at me with feigned concern. Honey, what's wrong? I shook my head quickly, forcing a tight smile. My hand just slipped, that's all. Only I knew the truth. I had panicked because I understood every word of that German wish. Desmond seemed to have forgotten a crucial detail about my past. I grew up in Berlin and only moved back to the States for college. Back when we were dating, he even took German classes just to get closer to me. I was the one who painstakingly taught our daughter, Lila, how to speak the language. Desmond grabbed a towel to clean the mess on the floor. He then sliced a fresh piece of cake and held it up to my mouth. It's okay. Since you're so clumsy today, let me feed you. This time, I didn't lean in. I took a step back, my skin crawling. I'm not hungry anymore. Lila stuffed a huge forkful of cake into her mouth, her cheeks bulging like a squirrel's. I'm still here, you know. Stop showing off your love in front of me. Lila was 7 years old. She still had her baby fat, and her features were a mirror image of Desmond's, refined and striking. Desmond pulled me into his arms right in front of her, raising an eyebrow playfully. Loving my wife is a full-time job. You better get used to it, kiddo. Lila set her plate down and ran over, burying her face in my waist. No way, it's my birthday. Mommy belongs to me today. She hugged me tightly, but I didn't reach down to stroke her hair like I usually did. Lila sensed something was off. She looked up at me, her eyes brimming with calculated tears. Mommy, why aren't you hugging me back? Are you and Daddy teaming up to bully me now? Desmond let out a soft laugh. I looked down at my daughter, my voice flat and cold. I was just wondering something. My husband and daughter seem to love me so much, but I wonder if they have someone they like even more. Lila froze. The room went silent. Mommy, what kind of crazy talk is that? The smile vanished from Desmond's face. When he looked at me again, his eyes were filled with a terrifyingly deep, fake devotion. He took my hand, rubbing my knuckles gently. Exactly. Lila and I love you more than anyone. Why would you even think that? I silently pulled my hand away from his grasp. They were still trying to play me for a fool. They had clearly forgotten that the thing I loathe most in this world is a lie. When we got married, I told him straight out, if I ever caught him in a lie, I would leave and never look back. He had sworn in front of everyone we knew that he would be faithful to me forever. After all, if I left, I would go back to Germany. He would never see me again. But now, I had no idea how long he had been cheating. Even the daughter I cherished was rooting for the other woman. 5 years of devotion and parenting had gone down the drain in a single sentence. I thought I would scream. I thought I would break down and tear the house apart. Surprisingly, I was calm. I was already calculating my next move. I pushed Lila away from me, my movements sharp. I'm tired. You two finish the party yourselves. Lila stared at me, her eyes wide with disbelief as I pushed her back. I didn't bother comforting her. I walked away, listening to her burst into tears behind my back. Desmond's voice was a soothing murmur. Don't cry, baby. Mommy probably just feels sick. I'll go check on her. Be a good girl for Daddy, okay? Lila let out a wet, shaky sob of agreement. Just as I was about to slam the bedroom door, Desmond shoved his way inside. Suddenly, his phone lit up with a notification on the nightstand. Are you coming over to my place tonight? Desmond didn't notice the screen. He stepped closer, his face etched with worry. What's going on, Amara? I looked down, avoiding his eyes, and got straight to the point. I saw the message on your phone. I grabbed the device before he could react, unlocked it, and thrust it in front of his face. Go ahead and reply. Don't keep her waiting. You're clearly in the mood to comfort people tonight. Panic flashed across his face. He immediately tossed the phone aside like it was trash, trying to prove his innocence. My only priority is making sure my Amara is happy. I don't even know who that is. He leaned in, his lips brushing against mine. His eyes darkened with a sudden, forced hunger. Amara? He pinned me in his arms. I struggled, but he just smirked and whispered into my ear. I knew you couldn't really push me away. Just as he buried his face in my neck, a loud, frantic banging echoed from the door. Daddy, Mommy, I don't feel good. The lust vanished from Desmond's eyes. He sprinted to the door and flung it open. Lila? What's wrong? Lila was curled into a ball on the hallway floor, clutching her stomach. She immediately switched to German. Daddy, I'm faking the stomach ache so we can leave. You promised you'd take me to see Auntie Lynette today. That's the only reason I did this. She didn't even try to whisper. Her eyes were brimming with fake tears. I had never realized what a brilliant actress my daughter was. If I hadn't understood her, I would have been frantic with worry. Desmond processed her words instantly. He put on a show of extreme distress. Don't be scared, princess. Daddy's taking you to the hospital. He scooped her up in his arms and glanced back at me. Stay here and wait for us. We'll be back soon. Lila peered over his shoulder, looking at me with a pouting face. Mommy. I walked over and gently brushed a strand of hair from her forehead. My voice was eerily soft. Don't worry, baby. Mommy will be right here waiting. Her eyes lit up for a fraction of a second before she resumed her whimpering as Desmond carried her out. A few minutes later, I looked out the window. I saw Lila jumping for joy as she walked toward the car, holding Desmond's hand. There was no sign of a sick, hurting child. I pulled back from the window and bit my lips so hard I tasted blood, refusing to let a single sob escape. I knew they weren't coming back tonight. I forced myself to stay rational. I sat at my laptop and contacted the embassy to start my visa process for Germany. Because I had maintained my dual citizenship paperwork over the years, the reply was swift. As long as I brought the right documents, I could leave in about 2 weeks. After confirming the details, I closed the laptop. I caught my reflection in the vanity mirror and forced a smile. Only 2 weeks until you go home. Be happy. Neither the father nor the daughter showed their faces the next morning. I finally received a text from Desmond around noon. Amara, Lila's stomach is still bothering her. The doctor wants to keep her for observation. We'll be home tomorrow. He attached a photo of Lila sitting in a hospital chair. I noticed a tiny smear of chocolate frosting at the corner of her mouth. I remembered clearly that her face was clean when they left. They couldn't even get their lies straight. I didn't bother replying. I grabbed my bag and headed to the embassy. As I walked out the door, my eyes fell on the bracelet on my wrist. It was a limited edition piece from a high-end designer. It was only available in person at a boutique in Berlin. Desmond had supposedly flown there there and waited in line for 8 hours just to get it for me. At the time, I thought I was the luckiest woman on earth. Now it felt like a shackle. I unclasped the bracelet and dropped it into a trash can on the street corner without a second thought. By a cruel twist of fate, I ran into them right outside the embassy. All three of us froze. Desmond and Lila looked like they had seen a ghost. Amara, what are you doing here? I tucked my paperwork into my bag, my face an emotionless mask. Just handling some things. I have a business trip to Germany coming up. A flicker of panic crossed his eyes, but he tried to play it cool. But your German isn't that great, is it? I tilted my head and gave him a sugary, fake smile. That's why I'll need you to teach me some phrases before I go. He visibly relaxed and jogged over to take my hand. That's my girl. Come on, let's go home together. Lila, holding a shopping bag, grabbed my other hand with a bright, sunny grin. Yay, I know a little bit too. I'll help teach mommy. They were laughing, flanking me like a perfect, happy family. I couldn't even manage a fake smile. A cold dread was spreading through my chest. The embassy was nowhere near our house, and even further from the hospital. The only explanation was that Lynette lived nearby. The air around them reeked of a heavy floral perfume. It was so cloying I started coughing. Desmond immediately looked concerned. What's wrong? I pulled a face mask out of my bag and snapped it on. The perfume on you two is making my nose burn. I have chronic allergies. Usually they were careful never to use strong scents around me. Their faces paled instantly. Desmond scrambled for an excuse. It must be the scent from the patient in the bed next to Lila. It got on our clothes. Lila let go of my hand and scurried over to Desmond's side. If I'm making mommy sick, I'll just stay away from her. She was young, and she couldn't quite hide the spark of joy in her eyes at the excuse to distance herself. I didn't try to win her back. I just gave a curt nod. Lila blinked, clearly stunned that I hadn't chased after her. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw the father and daughter exchange a confused, uneasy glance. When we got home, Lila pulled a designer handbag out of a bag and held it out to me. Look, mommy, daddy and I spent forever picking this out for you. This was their routine. Whenever Desmond sensed I was unhappy, he'd buy his way back into my good graces. This was a bag I had mentioned wanting months ago. Both of them watched me with bated breath, waiting for my reaction. I sighed and took the bag, offering a faint smile. I love it, thank you. Maybe they thought they had successfully bribed my suspicion away. Desmond's eyes lit up. He hovered around me like a devoted puppy. I'm so glad. What do you want for lunch? I'll make anything. Lila piped up immediately. I want honey glazed ribs. Desmond scooped her up and brought her close to me. We have to ask mommy first. What do you think, honey? I clutched the expensive bag and nodded. Whatever Lila wants is fine with me. Awesome. Thanks, mommy. Lila dragged Desmond toward the kitchen by his hand. Hurry up, daddy. Cook. I watched them, feeling the knot in my heart tighten. I sat on the sofa and opened my laptop to pretend to work. Suddenly, a friend request popped up on my phone. The profile picture was a cute, professional-looking woman. I accepted it without thinking. A message flashed across the screen instantly. So, do you like the bag I picked out for you? I knew instantly who it was. Lynette was marking her territory. In that moment, I wanted to slap myself. I had actually felt a moment of weakness, wondering if I should stay and try to fix this broken family, but a piece of trash is still trash, even if you wrap it in designer labels. I didn't reply. Lynette didn't care. She sent another photo. It was a live photo of her and Desmond drinking from the same straw. In the reflection of the glass, I could see Lila holding the phone. The audio captured her high-pitched giggle. Mommy, Lynette, and Daddy look so good together. Lynette followed up with a text. Don't our couple photos look great? I have plenty more. Rushing footsteps approached. Desmond asked from behind me, what are you looking at?